Good, glad to hear it.
So I really enjoyed that.
Was anybody here in one of the demos today for Spycraft 3? No?
Not sure.
Union Station, Monon was the room that we were
all the way
in.
down like to Union Station, and I was asking people like, "Huh? What?" I'm like, "Crafty games, Spycraft."
Yeah, there were 3 demos in the same room.
Yeah. Well, our demo guys are here, so we will fill you in.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can probably bring some generics if you want to come and see if you can sit in, because we got extra characters and stuff. Yeah. So.
I had 8 players.
Okay.
Great.
Excellent.
And classes. These are temp classes. They're not finals, but we are playtesting new classes here at the show.
Yeah. So I'll just give you the names right now. Hopefully they're fairly descriptive. So we've got the Face Man, known and loved. We have the Commando. Who's kind of he's not a straight up I can only shoot things guy. He's more of a Sam Fisher type. We have the I spent so much time developing these things, I'm forgetting names. The Fixer.
We have the Tactician, who wore the Godzilla suit in the opening of a popular 80s action show by Glenn Larson.
Yes, he has an ability called When a Plan Comes Together. So we got that. We have the Troubleshooter. He doesn't have an ability called License to Kill, but he is a freelance troubleshooter. If you ask him what he does, that's what he'll tell you he does.
Yeah.
And then we have the Analyst, who
Yes.
is our knowledge guy, more along the lines of maybe a Jack Ryan. He's not a guy in the van. There are no guys in the van right now. The Tactician can sit in the van if he wants to.
There are characters who can sit in the van very effectively.
Yes.
There are no characters who in their description say in the van, comma, and then move on with the
So we want to get everybody out of the van into the field doing stuff. And so I think that these classes right now are is that all 7?
Are we missing one?
So we've got
Demo guys, help us.
Troubleshooter, Fixer, Commando, Faceman, Tactician, that's 5. Analyst. I knew we were forgetting one. Commando. All right.
Okay, yeah.
It's 7.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So those are our classes.
So those are our first stab at base classes. That's not all of them. I think we'll have an even number. So that is 7. You notice there's at least one more in there. But yeah, we kind of looked at really building that so that you could get people out, make the classes, the characters fairly competent. I mean, they're all built for espionage. We know we're not building a game that is going to have to be applied in cyberpunk and espionage, and like 2.0 we look very broad, and in some ways that put us in a number of corners. We had to have Indiana Jones in case someone wanted to play pulp, and but Indiana Jones is not exactly a spy, even though he worked for the OSS. I will pretend that movie never happened, and keep him out of Spycraft. There is an Explorer in Fantasycraft you could use if you want.
But it's a spy in Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, and he was good in that.
Yeah, but it still never happened.
Okay.
All right.
You're that guy, huh?
Yes, I disbelieve.
Will there be follow-on from Spycraft 3 that will cover that sort of
Yes,
additional...
excellent question. So there are certain things we are intentionally leaving out of Spycraft. The flavor for Spycraft is very different than what you've seen in the past, and that will become evident when we start revealing what the game looks like, which probably won't happen until after the new year. So when you go in, the first question on everybody's minds will be, well, what happened to X? There are some things that will fit in Spycraft and some things that won't. The things that will fit are going to be done in their own topic books so that you can include them or exclude them at your own leisure.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the case of, for example, you want to play a World War II game instead of a more modern one.
Right.
We would probably do a World War II era book because there's so much in the World War II era. Spies work differently. The technologies around them are vastly different. The intelligence gathering was different. So it would be something more along the lines of, if you're familiar with classic Spycraft and the 60s book, it would be something more along that, where we're trying to lay out, give you a compact piece, so you can understand, you can change the environment with one volume. You don't have to have 4 volumes to make it work. You have 1. And so, to that end, we do some reprinting. They really love this idea. It would give you everything you need, so you have the core and key supplements that you want to run with. So I think the idea is to let you kind of build your own game with those pieces rather than send you off on a wild goose chase, or you must own the entire library.
Or to bury them, honestly, in a part of the book that some people might not want and other people may not be able to find. It'll be easier to just be able to say, here's the X book, and the X book has everything you'll ever need on X.
Right.
Well, the core book for Spycraft is the espionage book, so it's going to have, hopefully, almost everything you need for espionage.
Right. Well, yeah. And when you have the game that has everything in it, you have Spycraft 2.0.
Right.
And which is, it's got everything.
Yeah.
And
the kitchen sink.
some people are ready for everything, and some people are not.
That will make a lot of my players happy because purely on the basis of economics, they like to, not spend too much money. So I tend to buy the core books, and they tend to buy the supplements. I will as well, but if they only need the supplement, they'll rely on my core book. I know you'd rather they bought both, but reality being what it is.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is, we are I think one of our, maybe it's a fault in some ways. It's a good fault, is that we've been so value oriented in the past. I think in some ways Spycraft 2 is an expression of what we thought was value. We compressed 16 books into one book. And we tried to give you everything. And so you guys only need this one book. And for some people just go, so you get to drink out of the fire hose, and it's sometimes it's too much. I mean, it's a great book if you know how to digest it, you're ready for it. So I think lowering the price, but there's an advantage to lowering the price point on individual products, letting you pick and choose what you want. For a lot of people who've been coming up to us in the booth today and saying, I want to buy more books. I mean, PDFs are fine, but I want to have a shelf. And
3 more this year,
yes.
and a whole bunch next year.
Yeah.
And Spycraft 3rd will not be $50.
Right, exactly. We're pulling it down in price. We're not enamored with selling $50 books. We're not enamored with making 400 to 500 page books and releasing them once every 2 years.
Right.
We are enamored with making games that people can pick up and they can play with.
And they're constantly supported with new and interesting ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just,
Right.
right.
When they get to Australia, they've got $50.
Yeah. We've heard the horror stories. I'm very sorry.
Yeah. We've been trying to sort out some postage issues. We've got some mules here. We've got one going to New Zealand here very soon. So.
Go ahead.
Email work on international packages?
No, sadly.
Yeah, we're trying to find a way. I mean, we may have a boat.
Yeah.
It's like,
Hey, Wolverine, you want to store a bunch of our products?
Exactly. We're those guys from Miami Vice.